Leader of the third party.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. We've spent a lot of this session talking about legislation to deal with tariffs and how to speed up building of infrastructure. And now we all go back to our communities that are fearful for the summer season. And building on what my colleague was saying, these communities are in desperate need of support, and wildfire resilience is alarmingly inadequate and needs more investment. In past years, contingency funds were used to respond to wildfires, but with the cancelling of the carbon tax, there are less funds to pull from. My question is to the Minister of Forests. How is the ministry preparing for this forest fire season, and how does this government say it's done all it can on wildfires while a $10 billion deficit plus looms over every spending decision on wildfires?
Minister of Forests.
Thanks very much, Mr. Speaker. I want to thank the member opposite for the question. As I'm standing up here, I'm thinking of the people of Manitoba. Premier of Manitoba declared a state of emergency yesterday. Really proud of the hardworking men and women of the BC Wildfire Service that are stepping up and heading over to support. Where by the end of this weekend, we expect we'll have over 250 resources in Ontario, Manitoba, as well as Saskatchewan as well, to be able to support our neighbours. But that's not going to stop the work that we have to do. That's why on this side of the House in 2022, as part of our budget process, we took the decision to make the BC Wildfire Service year-round operation, making sure that we have 600 hardworking men and women working all year round to help better support communities. I was in Kimberley just a couple of weeks ago having an opportunity to see a prescribed burn happening. Those are the type of initiatives that we are taking in every part of our province, because we know that wildfires are increasing. We know it is so important that we make investments, and it's why on this side of the House we continue to make investments in prescribed burns and new technologies to better support communities in upcoming wildfire seasons.
Member supplemental.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you to the Minister for the answer. We may be able to temporarily handle wildfires this season. Maybe with luck we'll have a slow wildfire season, but unlike some of the other battles on tariffs or on clean energy, we are not winning this battle. We know we're not doing enough because the temperature keeps rising. I think members probably know me well enough to know my biggest fear is that history looks back on us and says we didn't solve the problems of our time, that we kicked the can down the road, focusing on short-term problems to get re-elected. I think history will show that the insecurity and unrest that we're all feeling and that we're describing in many different ways in this House is in no small part that we've changed our planet in a way that we're not fully equipped to contemplate. So, given the undermining of carbon pricing and doubling down on conventional economic models, I want to know from the Premier what hope this government is giving to British Columbians that the protection of their health and the planet's health are a priority in this House. And how did this government explain to the next generations that our actions here were truly for the protection of British Columbians?
Minister of Energy.
Well, thank you, Honourable Speaker, and it's by taking the actions that the Minister of Forests, the Minister of Emergency Management Services are taking to address issues of climate resilience, because these things are happening in our world and we in British Columbia don't control all of them. And so the actions described by both of them during the House in this session are significant for that, to help people prepare, help communities to prepare, and to prepare for those circumstances. And we have to take continued action against climate change. And that's why, through the Clean BC Fund and the Clean BC Plan, which is leading Canada in terms of the response to climate change, we continue to take action that's showing real success here in British Columbia. And we have to do more. And it's why, because this is something I share passionately with the leader of the Green Party, we're reviewing that Clean BC Plan so we can do better in future. And we've put together an independent review, a statutory review, to do just that. There is more to do. Honourable Speaker, there is, of course, more to do, and we need to do it together.